Hi, John Dwyer here, and let me give you a case study about a hotel offer which was pretty special. I was looking after the marketing for a company who had negotiated with over 300 hotels around Australia accommodation that they could actually provide to department stores, to motorcar companies and various other businesses as a bonus. And how it worked was this, is that the company had gone around to hundreds of hotels around Australia and they said, look, what's your occupancy rate? And generally speaking, for a hotel, is 60 to 70% is the average over the year. And they said, well, that means that 3 or 4 out of every 10 hotel rooms in your hotel are going vacant tonight. Why don't you give us those hotel rooms and we'll actually market them and sell them for $10 or $20 each to Harvey Norman, which happens to be a big electrical computer store here in Australia, or to the Holden Motor Car Company, or to big, shopping centres. And what we'll do is we'll sell those rooms for $10 or $20 to those people, so that they can actually tack that on to a television offer. So say it was Harvey Norman, they'd say, well, buy, plasma or LCD TV from us this weekend for $2,100, and we'll give you X number of nights that you can stay at any one of 300 hotels around Australia for free. And what they've done is that they've actually bought the hotel rooms off this hotel company for $10 or $20, and then they've just given them away for free. So they've got a fantastic bonus value add to provide someone who's buying a motor car or someone who's buying a TV to give away, but they've only paid $10 or $20 for each night of the hotel. And they said to me, look, is there any way we can take this further to the general public? And I said, okay, yeah, I hear where you're coming from. And I said, righto, well, look, the best way to do it is via infomercials on television. And it was a product that was just absolutely perfect for daytime television audiences. And as you'll see when you scroll through the case study, and you can watch the advertisement that we put together, I ended up doing a joint venture between this particular hotel company and the TV networks. And basically a TV network that had dead space to give away at certain times throughout the day, in other words, space that they had not sold to advertisers, shared in the revenue. Now that gave the TV networks a pretty big incentive to put this ad on, as much as they possibly could, particularly when it went nuts, which it did. And what we did is that we actually put together a series of infomercials. I think there was a 1 minute, a 2 minute and a 3 minute version, and we tested those right around Australia in different areas. And you'll see that what happened is that we basically came on TV and we said you can get 10 nights accommodation for $99. 10 nights for $99. Because the point is, the inventory of the hotel this particular travel company got for free. You might be asking, sorry, I've left out a very important point. You might be asking, well, why did the hotels give away the rooms for free? I'm sorry, I should have brought this up earlier. Because I know what the answer is, I forgot to tell you. Okay, the reason that they gave it away for free is because the condition of anyone staying at that hotel was that they had breakfast and dinner for 2 people at the hotel. So you got a free night at the hotel, okay, when you previously had bought a TV or you'd bought a car. You got so many free nights at any one of these hotels, but you had to have dinner and then breakfast before you left the next morning for 2 people. But that's not an onerous condition. I think that's pretty fair. It's not like those things that were back in the 70s and 80s where you've got a free air fare to Fiji, but you had to stay there in a 7-star hotel for 3 weeks. It was nothing like that. So there wasn't any catches to it. I think this was a very fair condition, because if you're like me and you go to a hotel, you generally have dinner that night before you go to bed, and then you have breakfast before you leave the next morning. So it's not an onerous condition by any means if you're going to get a free night. And these hotels were all good hotels, by the way. They're all 4-star style hotels. And so anyway, that was the deal. And I said to them, well, why don't we just, instead of just giving these hotel rooms to car dealers and to department stores to act as a sales promotion to sell more of their TVs and their motor cars, why don't you get on TV and just do it yourself and you keep all the money? And that's what we did. We went on TV and it was 10 nights for $99. Now, the profit margin in that is $99. Okay, the product cost nothing. Outside of perhaps in those days, it was we still sent out vouchers, whereas because this was a few years ago, now you would just have it totally online. We put the telephone calls through a call centre in Australia called Danos Direct, and I won't mean anything to anyone overseas, but this is a big call centre operation that does a lot of TV infomercials in Australia. And the manager of Danos Direct said to me within the first 2 weeks of launching this TV commercial, they had never seen a result like this. In all of the infomercials that they'd been involved in being the call centre for over many years previously, they had never seen anything go nuts like this. Now, you can watch the TV commercial when you scroll down through the case study. It was pretty compelling. It's 10 nights accommodation at 4-star hotels for $99. The only condition that you had was that you had to eat your breakfast and your dinner at that hotel. Went absolutely nuts, ballistic. And I just thought you'd enjoy seeing this case study. It's once again, one of those wow factors that you can only dream of. Can you imagine yourself just sitting having a cup of tea at home during the day and a TV commercial comes on that says you can have 10 nights accommodation at any one of these unbelievable hotels around Australia for $99. That's less than $10 a night. Anyway, you'll see the wow way that we put it together. When I say wow way that we put it together, have a look at the infomercial. The female personality that we used to front the TV commercial happened to be a soapy star in Australia. I think she was on Home and Away or Neighbours, one of those shows at the time. And when I say we hyped it up, we didn't hype it up with, the 48-hour sale from Rugs A Million, hurry up and get in while stock's low. It wasn't any of that sort of stuff. You can't scream at people if you want your advertising campaign to really have longevity. It was laid back and relaxing, which is what people were looking for when they want to go away to a nice hotel. So you'll see that it's very powerful. It's got lots of wow to it, but it was done in a tonality that matched the offer. And that's something important I want you to take out of this case study, is that you don't have to scream at people. In fact, there's nothing worse than screaming at people, okay? We made sure the tonality of this was lay back, relaxed, and don't you want to get away from the workplace and enjoy one of these relaxing breaks for like less than $10 a night. Hope you enjoy. Have a look at the case study below.